This time I'd like to call a meeting to order. I would ask that everyone please rise, and Councilman Dorman will lead us in a Pledge of Allegiance followed by a prayer.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we ask for your guidance for tonight and in all areas of our lives.
Roll call.
Dorman.
Here.
Stock.
Here.
Venable. Meadows.
Here.
Beach.
Here.
Burt.
Here.
Carter.
Here.
Ehlers. Here.
Okay. First thing on the agenda, we have a very special presentation this evening by Canine Officer Sergeant Wack, and he has Vic with us tonight.
We just want to take a minute and introduce Vic as the newest member of the department. He's 2 years old next month. He was selected at the end. He was selected at the end of February. He's a dual purpose dog, so he's trained in multiple disciplines with his nose, including narcotics, ortho search, tracking. He also does apprehension, building search at the end of a track. Not something we've pushed, but along with that, the foundation's been laid for crowd control, that sort of thing. He's a Czech bloodline, selected by vendors first in Europe, then selected by a U.S. vendor who we went through, and then with our contracted trainer out of Boone County, Sheriff's Department, we looked at 16 other dogs, and Vic got the nod, so. His, he's got a real sweet,
Cookies.
he's got a real sweet,
What's
curious
in that
personality.
box?
He's not forcefully aggressive as far as wanting to stand off, etc. He's thrown a couple barks in the car since I've had him the last month or so, but he's more curious than anything else. But he'll do work. He will come out when needed. When the situation arises, he just a sweet boy. And I know Bobby Welliver, the police chief, made arrangements to replace Kilo, and we replaced him at the age of 9 to avoid medical conditions and medical problems. Kilo enjoys my backyard full time, and with the heat coming on, he comes inside for the AC given his age. But, he still wants to work nonstop.
Huh.
He's still at the gate, ready to go. He took over. Didn't have to. And, we just wanted you to see what you bought.
Yeah.
What it is.
Very nice. Thank you for
He's
bringing
had
him.
one successful find.
Huh.
For assist other agency, I called out during the day over in Howard County.
Huh.
We got some paraphernalia and some actually liquid heroin, we believe.
Huh.
I haven't got the test labs yet, but that's what we believe it was on a traffic stop for Howard County.
Well, good work, Vic.
Things going
Good
well.
boy.
So
Yeah.
far, so good.
Nice job. Well, thank you very much. Any questions? Susan?
I live down the street from, I guess it was
Oh,
Kilo
sure.
was out one day. I live down the street from you. I'm the one with the crazy collie pup. And your dog was out. And my dog went
Oh,
nuts.
yes.
Your
Park
dog
it.
just sat there. I thought, oh God, we're in trouble.
After-
Your dog was just so calm, and my dog was
After a 12-hour day, most of his time is spent in the vehicle, unless he's working. I get him out to the bathroom, stretch legs, etc. on duty, but yeah, I made the mistake of turning to pick something up, and he saw an opportunity. He was like, I'm free, I want to stretch, and down the neighborhood he went. He circled around the ballpark and
But he was
Played
very
ball at
well
the ball
behaved.
park for a few minutes and then he went home.
Very good.
We're still working on command a little bit, but he's much better. We've already fixed most of that issue.
Well, very good. Thank you so much for bringing him.
Thank you.
Hearing of citizens' comments. At this time, if there's anyone in the audience who would like to make a comment on anything, we ask that you come forward to the microphone at this time. Seeing none, we'll move along to approval of the minutes of the May 16th, 2016 council meeting. You had those in your packets this weekend and should have had plenty of time to read that. So anyone have any corrections, additions, or questions on that? Hearing none, they will stand as presented. Consent items. Item A, consider change order number 1 from Stockman Construction Corporation in the amount of $82,009.92 credit for the concrete street repairs 2016. I would entertain a motion to accept that. Susan?
I move that we accept it.
Okay.
Second.
Ned seconds. Questions or comments? Ned, or Earl, you have any?
Now, you recall when we accepted those bids, we observed that the bids were higher than the budget allowed, and we were going to delete a portion of the work and to get it back around 500 even, and this accomplishes that.
Okay. Roll call.
Dorman,
Yes.
Stock,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Beach,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes. Presentation of accounts and claims. Teresa, when you're ready.
Ordinance appropriating money. Be it ordained by the council of the city of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying salaries and various accounts against the city of Boonville which have been allowed by the council at the regular meeting thereof on June 6, 2016, the sum of $772,365.32. General Fund, $183,699.12. Sanitation, $32,658.71. CIP tax, $32,169.74. Waterworks, $149,517.01. Capital projects, $96,684.22. Wastewater, $81,349.15. Tourism, $56,338.53. Gaming, $113,157.43. Parks and Water, $26,791.41. Section 2. The accountant is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on the respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $772,365.32, being the total amount of money above appropriated. Section 3. This ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage. First reading on June 6, 2016, read for the second time this 6th day of June 2016, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
Mayor, I move that we approve this ordinance.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you very much. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Dorman,
Yes.
Stock,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Beach,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes.
Unfinished business. Second reading of bill number 2016-016, vacating a strip of land dedicated as an alley along eastern edge of 717 High Street.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, vacating the 15-foot strip of land previously dedicated as an alley along the eastern edge of the property, now known and numbered as 717 High Street.
Morris?
Mayor, make a motion this be approved.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Mike, thank you. Questions, comments? Roll call.
Dorman,
Yes.
Stock,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Beach,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Item B, second reading of bill number 2016-017, amending the schedule of administration fees.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, adopting a new schedule of administrative fees, Appendix G, in the Code of General Ordinances, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Morris?
Mayor, I make a motion this be approved.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Becky? Questions or comments? Roll call.
Dorman,
Yes.
Stock,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Beach,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes.
New business, item A, first and second reading of bill number 2016-018, awarding a contract for information technology services to Infinitec Consulting LLC.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, awarding a contract for managed information technology services and hosting to Infinitec Consulting LLC. Whereas the City of Boonville had an immediate need for specialized IT services, hosting, security, and other technology-based services upon the resignation of its part-time IT manager. Whereas the mayor, the city administrator, and heads of various city departments undertook an expedited process to explore and evaluate professional services offered by local respected firms possessing a high degree of professional skill before choosing Infinitec Consulting LLC. Whereas the city administrator and city staff have determined that Infinitec Consulting LLC is offering the most comprehensive and seamless plan for integrating its expertise into the ongoing needs for the city for responsive, comprehensive, and secure professional IT solutions at the best rate for said services. And whereas the city administrator has previously advised the council of the procurement process for these services. And whereas the mayor has informed the council that the execution of the attached contract and the immediate procurement of the professional services promised hereunder are essential to the maintenance of the city's integrated technology and computer systems security, such that this ordinance should be read and passed together in one meeting. Now, therefore, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Boonville, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that the city's acceptance of the offer of professional services by Infinitec Consulting LLC be and is hereby approved by the council. Section 2, that the attached managed services and hosting agreement and schedule of services attached hereto as Exhibit A be accepted and executed by the mayor on behalf of the city. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage and approval, but occupancy shall be made available at champion's risk and discretion upon first reading. First reading, June 6, 2016, read for the second time and passed the 6th day of June 2016, after a copy of this ordinance and reference documents have been made available for public inspection prior to presentation to the council.
Morris?
Mayor, I make a motion this be approved.
We need a second reading.
Oh, second reading, I'm sorry.
Title only.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, awarding a contract for managed information, technology services, and hosting to Infinitec Consulting LLC.
Morris?
Make a motion approved.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
I second.
Susan? Questions or comments?
Mayor, can I just make a note that the second clause of Section 3 should be stricken? That was a holdover from a previous document and should be, doesn't have anything to do with this
So that's
ordinance.
section 3.
Yeah, the second
Okay.
clause. So it should read, "This ordinance shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage and approval, period, end
Period.
of sentence." Right.
Okay. Everybody get that? No questions? Okay, roll call.
Dorman,
Yes.
Stock,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Beach,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Item B, first and second reading of bill number 2016-019, approving the purchase of 4.27 acre strip of real estate located behind the Boonville High School football field.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri approving the purchase of a 4.27-acre strip of real property contiguous to the City of Boonville located at the northwest corner of the Richard L. and Ruth Ann Lenz Trust parcel behind the Boonville High School football field, and authorizing the city administrator to take such additional actions as are necessary and proper to complete the purchase of said property to the City of Boonville. Whereas pursuant to the Missouri Sunshine Law provision 610.0212, the council met with the city administrator in closed session on March 7, 2016, relative to the purchase of a parcel of real estate from the Lenz Trust, and authorized him to negotiate the legal consideration therefor. And whereas the Lenz Trust by and through Richard and Ruth Ann Lenz, hereinafter the Lenzes, have agreed to sell a certain portion of that property to the City of Boonville. And whereas the city administrator and the Lenzes have negotiated a sale price of $125,000 for the city's acquisition of approximately 4.27 acres at the above described location. And whereas the city council has reviewed the terms of the sale and the outcome of the negotiations therefore, and now wishes to approve the contract for purchase of the property. Now therefore be it ordained by the city council of the City of Boonville, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that the purchase of 4.27-acre strip of real estate located at the northwest corner of the Richard L. and Ruth Ann Lenz Trust parcel behind Boonville High School is hereby approved by the City Council of Boonville as described in the contract for sale of real estate, which is attached hereto and marked as Exhibit A. Exhibit A is incorporated herein by reference as if set forth fully in this ordinance. Section 2, the city administrator is hereby authorized to take such additional actions as are necessary and proper for the city to complete the purchase of the real estate as the parcel is fully legally described in the contract as at Exhibit A, and in accordance with its terms, so that the city may take title to the property upon and from the date of the closing. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage and approval. First reading June 6, 2016. Read for the second time and passed on the 6th day of June 2016 after a copy of this ordinance and the attachment have been made available for public inspection prior to the passage.
Second reading, title only.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri approving the purchase of a 4.27-acre strip of real estate contiguous to the City of Boonville located at the northwest corner of the Richard L. and Ruth Ann Lenz Trust parcel behind the Boonville High School football field, and authorizing the city administrator to take such additional actions as are necessary and proper to complete the purchase of said property to the City of Boonville.
Becky?
I move that we accept this.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Morris. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Dorman.
Yes.
Stock.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Beach.
Yes.
Hurt.
Yes.
Carter.
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Item C, consider street closure and parking restriction request for Heritage Day celebration. And Jim and Monica, who wants to, does anybody want to talk about anything, or? Okay. They have provided signatures for the street closures and requests spelled out. So are there any, I always ask this question, any changes from last year that we should be aware of in this document? Okay. Morris?
Make a motion this be approved.
Okay, do I hear a second? Ned? Further questions or comments? Roll call.
Dorman.
Yes.
Stock.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Beach.
Yes.
Hurt.
Yes.
Carter.
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Jim and Monica, for coming tonight. It's not far off. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you. Item D, consider purchase of material and labor for wastewater treatment plant clarifier scum trough replacement. Emil, you want to talk about scum a little bit?
Actually, there's a picture in the packet that shows the scum trough project that we had done in the late fall, early winter. You remember from your tours of the plant, 22 2 years ago or so when the plant was designed. The scum trough was probably 36 inches or so across with a smaller single sweep arm. Well, over the years, that's proven not to adequately clean the scum off of the clarifier water surface. So last fiscal year, we did phase 1, which was a full radius scum trough, and you see on the photo on page 45 what that means is we now have a trough that goes the full radius of the clarifier, so the entire width, if you will, of the body of water is exposed to a trough. And then the double sweep arm in that photo shows half the arm, so we're basically cleaning off twice as much scum. The first phase was the installation of the full radius scum trough and double sweep arms on clarifier number 1. Phase 2 is this year, which is the same on clarifier 2, plus we are treating the concrete in the trough around the outside edge of the clarifier, and we're rebuilding the drive motor on the clarifier number 2. Scum trough, sweep arm, and then phase 3, which will be next fiscal year, we'll go back to clarifier number 1 and do the concrete treatment and the drive motor rebuild.
Any questions for him, Al? He does have a letter of recommendation that we accept the proposal for $78,950.
So moved.
Morris moves that we purchase that. Do I hear a second?
I second.
Thank you, Susan. Roll call.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Did you say 78,000?
Doesn't miss.
I thought it was 83.9.
It is 78,950.
Look on page 42.
Okay, so this other sales quote doesn't count.
That's right. That is
Okay.
that is prior to applying the discounts they gave us for doing all 3 parts this year.
Page 41.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Okay, roll call.
Dorman,
Yes.
Stock,
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Beach.
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. First reading of bill number 2016-020, modifying lengths and speed limits of certain zones along Bingham Road.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, changing the lengths and speed limits of certain zones along Bingham Road, Missouri Highway 87, within the city limits, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Okay? Morris?
Question. We upping the speed limit on Bingham Road? From 30 to...
That's what is before you. The MoDOT was asked to conduct a speed study of Bingham Road from Main Street to the city limits. And in their speed study, they recommended, or their study revealed that the speed limit on Bingham Road could be up to as much as 40 miles an hour. The 45 zone could be changed, and then 55 would basically stay the same to the city limits. So yes.
I'm okay with that. I just want to make sure it wasn't
Yeah,
missed.
so this ordinance raises the speed limit on Bingham Road to 40 miles an hour from Main Street to Jefferson Road.
Right.
And then from Jefferson Road to, I forget the number, County Log Mile, which is a MoDOT reference. I said the vicinity of the Burnett Storage Buildings to 45, and then from there to the city limits is 55.
I just, like I said, I just want to make sure it wasn't a misprint.
Okay.
Thank you.
You can go out tomorrow and test it. Maybe, carefully.
Yeah, carefully.
Reports of standing committees, Park Board,
Do we need to vote on that?
This is first
That was
reading.
first reading.
first reading.
All right, thank you.
Park Board, Whitney is not here. Gary, was there anything you wanted to point out, or is it all in your report?
Minutes are in the packet.
anyone has any questions.
Okay. Any questions for Gary?
Gary, I had one complaint about the jamboree, and that was the noise. I mean, I could hear it in my house, but I wasn't offended by it. You know, it's a one-time-a-year thing, and
Did it sound like coins falling on the ground or something?
I hadn't heard that, but
it was,
I can ask around down in that area.
I mean, you could hear it real, out on 11th Street, you could really hear it good.
It must have been in the right direction.
That's what I thought, too.
Okay.
And there was a lady, I was more in the churchyard, and there was a lady that stopped, and her husband, that were walking the streets, and it's amazing what other people see in our town that we don't see. They were looking at the apartment building there on Spruce and 4th Street. I don't know if you all know that that used to be Sumner School years ago. My dad went to school there. The other thing was, the lady knows you, and she said, she's from Columbia, I think she was with Conservation or something, had high praise for you.
Oh.
Said Boonville had the best lookout point there is in Missouri.
Really?
She's the one that came up and looked at the tree.
Oh, okay, Ann, okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool, good,
I
thank
agree.
you. I'll have to buy her a Coke next
She
time.
was kicking your heart.
Very good. Give her some. Yeah. Okay, Fire Board, Mike?
Pretty much everything's in here
Okay.
that we had in the notes. Kind of interesting listening to Tim about the insurance rating. That's very interesting how that works.
Okay. Very good. IDA and MFA, Morris?
Let Kate and Jim take care of that.
Okay. They'll report later. Cemetery Board, Mike?
I
You're
actually was
busy.
not able to make that one, but the notes are in,
Okay.
minutes are in the packet.
Gary, is there anything you want to point out on the Cemetery Board? I noticed they had quite a...
It's probably the only thing of any real importance, and I've talked to Carissa about this. We haven't done anything with it yet, but Section 6-6 of Chapter 6 of the Code of General Ordinances requires the Cemetery Board to reorganize annually in the month of March. We have kind of unofficially stretched that until May because the mayoral appointments to the boards are made in May. And when we met last, several of the board members questioned why they had to reorganize annually. So I don't know of any reason unless someone around the table knows of a reason. And so they kind of suggested that maybe we do it every 2 years. So I'm going to get with Carissa. We'll come up with maybe a draft ordinance and take it back to the cemetery board at their July meeting and discuss it. And if that meets with their approval, then you'll probably see a request to change it.
Okay.
Gary,
Yes, sir.
how's the gentleman doing the mowing? Is he doing better this
A
year?
lot better this year than he did last year.
I was out there, I think, the day before Memorial Day, and I thought it could have been better, but
He mows higher than some of the other previous contractors, and it looks good the day of and the day after, but then the weeds tend to pop up a little bit quicker. I thought once about asking if they could lower but I don't know if I want him to do that or not, because this way he's able to go over some of the ground-mounted stones, and if he lowers it one more notch, it might not work out too good. So,
okay.
but yeah, I went out, had intentions of taking a couple of my guys and going out the Friday before Memorial Day and putting the flags on the veteran stones, and because they had rain in the forecast, I went out Thursday afternoon and did it by myself, and they were just finishing up, or had finished Memorial Gardens and were in the process of finishing up Sunset Hills when I was out there that afternoon. So, but he is doing a lot better. They're a lot more conscientious and a lot more careful.
Good.
Thank you, Gary. Board of Public Works, Morris?
ML's going to get it.
The minutes are in the packet. If you have any questions about those, I can answer those questions. But I want to specifically point out that, again, this year, we received a $17,117 rebate from Alliance Water Resources. Remember, our contract is that if they don't spend repair and chemical monies, if they realize some savings, we get some of that money back.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Jim. Street, Alley, and Sanitation Board. Susan?
Yeah, well, we've already had some discussion on the increase in speed limit on Bingham Road. The new chairman of the board is Brad Spears, and David Smith is vice chair. And under consideration for the June meeting is discussion regarding making East Walnut Street between Main and 4th Street a one-way street. There's concern about congested parking being on both sides of the street during certain times of the day.
Which way would it be?
Well, I would assume it would be Main to 4th, so it'd be westbound. You'd come off of Main and go
Okay.
in that way.
Okay.
But I haven't looked at it at all, and I haven't seen every condition that Mr. Sullivan's reported.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions? Thank you, Susan. Reports of city officials. City Administrator, Earl? Okay. Mayor, I have asked Kate to give us a report on the Ginrich Building. I think a lot of people are curious about it. When's it going to open and all that good stuff. So she's going to give us a hot off the paper report.
The work in the warehouse building is completed, so we just are waiting for our phone lines to come in, and apparently it's been so long since there's been any service in the building, they have to like recreate everything at AT&T. So the Public Works Department went ahead and did our part where we cut out the sidewalk where we needed to run the line. But we're just waiting for the account to get recreated, and then we can get a phone line. So we can't really open up this tourism center until we have that. But otherwise, it is open. If you saw, I think there were some pictures on Facebook, and that we did get Lewis Miller had donated a wagon to us, so that got moved over and last week. And the kill boat is up, and there's a few other things right now there, which is sort of the museum side. The visitor side is fully up and operational and staged to look like we've been there for much longer than we have. So we're ready to start rocking and rolling in there. We're just waiting for the phone line. We are keeping our fingers crossed that by Heritage Days we'll be there, but we're kind of at the mercy of AT&T, so we'll see how that goes.
Aren't we all?
And I do want to say that tomorrow there are 15 travel writers that are being sponsored by the State of Missouri Division of Tourism. They're spending the night in Boonville tonight, and they're staying at the Isle of Capri. They did some stuff at the Hotel Frederick. They are going to have ice cream sandwiches on our brand new porch, so we are sprucing it up to look like it's been there forever for them. So hopefully those travel writers are from like Midwest Living and AARP, so like big magazines, and they'll hopefully do their pieces in there, so we should hopefully get some good press. They're going from one end to the other. They bike a little, then they hop on a bus and go to the next stop. It's kind of interesting how they do it. But they are actually biking from here to Pilot Grove tomorrow, and being greeted by Winky with iced tea and cookies, so it should be good for them too. So keep our fingers crossed by Heritage Days, and we are still planning to have a big grand opening, but due to the AT&T issue, we're looking probably late July now, so we're kind of thinking July 21st. So,
Okay.
any questions? If anyone wants to see it, you can certainly ask. We can get you in any time.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kate. City Councilor, Carissa?
I have no report.
Okay. Economic Development, Dr. Gahan.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My report begins on page 58, and again, unless you have questions, I'll just highlight a few things. Item 1A, the Enhanced Enterprise Zone, we're continuing to work on that. Has slowed down because I've been busy doing other things, but that's solely, the inertia has stopped solely because of me, so I'll get on that as I have time. What's been keeping me busy is under item 2, Project Tito, which is considering the Nordine plant, remains an active project. My gut tells me is that we're not the first choice of the company, but I don't know that officially, and we continue to have contact periodically. So that continues in the mix. The second project up after that was Project Liberty, also for the Nordine plant. We're in the early stages of that, so the Nordine plant has been submitted and meets the requirements for that project. So if you want to think of that being the second project in line. However, Liberty has now been renamed Ascent, so, and I don't make the names up, but it's been renamed. But also this week I submitted, this week meaning today, I submitted a third request for information on the Nordine plant. So that plant is in the mix on 3 active projects at the moment. Item 2C, we had a site visit from a Korean company, and they came to town to visit the spec building. We're impressed with the spec building, and subsequent to that meeting, the transaction at the bakery occurred, and so now we have two buildings that they are interested in. The principal of that company is going to be coming to the U.S. Within the next week or two, and then spend a couple months in the U.S. So we will be having another site visit at some point. Item 3, or under 3A, we did host a site visit of a project, and this was one that the mayor connected the dots for me that I gave her full credit for last month. And anyway, we hosted the principal from that company, and our target for that was the Biesmeyer Steamboat building over across the river. Turns out that building is not, it's about 1/5 of the size that they need. So we have exchanged some information about other places that might be located in town. And this is really, really, really early in this project. So I think we had a good first meeting, but if that comes to fruition, it will be some time off. Item 3B, Project Soda. This project is advancing, and we're at the point where we need to have some discussions with the company to respond to the question about what the community is able to do for them. I spoke with you about this last month, and what we've done is we've established a committee on behalf of the IDA to do some due diligence work on your part. Becky or Councilman Ehlers is going to be representing the council and the IDA in that regard, are on that committee, and we're going to begin those discussions with that company. Our goal is to bring back to you a package for your consideration and give you the insight into the company by IDA, a committee of folks. And anyway, we're making the process up a little bit as we go along, but our intent is to bring you something to consider that it will be pretty deeply vetted and make sense from multiple perspectives. So that's our intent. So the committee has been established, and we're now arranging when those meetings will occur. Item 3D, Project Bed. That project was gaining some momentum given some positive news that the prospect received. However, I met with the prospect last week, and what has happened to the prospect is not reflected in the news correctly. So we're still working on that one, but it's not, momentum on that is not as imminent as we thought it might be given the news that was received. So is that a cryptic enough description? Okay. Moving over to 7B. Last week, I presented at a conference that was held here in Boonville for the Pathways for Prosperity. And just this goes to a little bit to retention, but also engagement with our local industries, is that Caterpillar has a willingness, and the county, or actually the sending schools to the vocational technical center have a willingness to work together on student internships. So Caterpillar brought forth some projects that could be student-led, and anyway, a discussion's being facilitated to try and assist that to happen. So I really didn't play any role in their willingness to do that or the school's initiative, but I was participating in the conversation to get that to happen, which is it's a cool thing to have some high school kids the ability to work on some real Caterpillar projects in engineering, that kind of thing.
Excellent.
Cool stuff. On the successive pages behind page 59, there's a rather lengthy article about the Columbia ecosystem, of which we are a full participant. So I really like this article because it talks about all those different pieces that are going on in Columbia. We're a little bit tangential to that, but in other ways we're in the middle of some of those things. The last thing I have to report is something that I spoke to the council previously about. I was in a dialogue with Ameren, Missouri over a number of issues, and as an aside to that, I had been reading about how Kansas City Power and Light was installing 1,000 vehicle charging stations in Kansas City. And while I was talking with Ameren about that, I kind of put the idea out there that wouldn't it be wonderful if we were able to have a vehicle charging station here in our tourist center so that people could make day trips and have a place to charge their electric car as they come through town. Well, that talk with Ameren was fruitful. Ameren has told me verbally that they have a willingness to, at their expense, provide 4 charging stations, 2, and there's a nuance of difference between the 2, but 2 fast chargers, 2 level 2 chargers in the vicinity of our tourism hub. Ameren loved the idea because there's a number of events to do all within walking distance of that area. They liked that there was food available at the Isle of Capri, lodging at the Isle of Capri, of course the things that are in that area, Katy Trail, whatnot. So what they'll be asking, so the person that's leading this effort out of their St. Louis office that is in charge of this he wasn't connecting the dots at first that they already have infrastructure right there vis-a-vis their service center.
Right.
So I've made him aware that their service center is there. So what he actually needs from us may change based upon the fact that they already have property in the area. But what he was going to ask for from us was some easements to run utility and then an easement to place the equipment. So that's still developing. I think it's kind of a cool deal. I don't know. Anyway. And I thought it was kind of a cool deal.
Cool deal.
Yeah, it is.
Are there any questions I can answer for you? All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. City Clerk, Teresa, do you have anything?
I have nothing this evening.
Okay. Miscellaneous. Morris?
I'd just like to remind the citizens that there will be fireworks here in Boonville on the 4th of July.
Okay.
And, we're kind of kicking that off again, and what we really like is some input after the fireworks, or how we can improve it, what they liked, or what we need to do for next year. But there will be fireworks here in Boonville on this 4th.
Okay.
Where will they be shot from?
Kemper Park and Eagles is shooting them off. They've sent a couple guys down to be trained, so they'd be in charge of the fireworks.
Very good. Okay. Anybody have any questions about that? Okay. At dark, I suppose.
Who's in charge of the fireworks? Like, is there someone in charge of
The city, if there's a question on it, just give me a call. Okay?
All it's going to be is fireworks.
Yes.
Not a family fun day or anything?
No, not this year. We're looking for some input as to what people want. If, if the community feels that's something they would like to see happen, and we just need to find out and then get some groups that are interested in helping us out. So, but it's basically, at this point, the City of Boonville received funding from the local agency funding, and so the Eagles are setting them off for us. So that's all it'll be, is just the fireworks this year.
Well, the Y is planning to run the concession stand
Okay?
for drinks and,
That won't be a problem.
Yeah, that'll be great.
well, I'm just wondering what to expect.
Yeah.
Should I buy? How much should I buy, Morris?
How crazy are you? It's been a few years since the city had fireworks.
Uh-huh.
So we're kind of using this as a training and want to know exactly what the people would like to see down there. A few years back when we did have fireworks, we had entertainment, different types, concession stands and so forth. And we threw it around this year and we really didn't know what to do. So that's the reason we're hoping to receive some input on exactly what they'd like to have next year.
Well, I just appreciate letting people know that there's going to be
And,
drinks, food and drinks.
and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll try to put that in the publicity, that there will be drinks available.
You said you're going to have
Drinks and
food too?
Yeah.
Years ago, we tried that with CCBC, and the food thing did not go over at all. People just walked right by, and I don't know if they had already eaten or what by that time of the evening, but they didn't buy anything. We had a lot of food. I mean, they didn't buy hardly anything. So be careful.
Yeah, I know.
That time of night, people have already eaten, so.
Yeah. Okay.
I want you to note page 71 of your packet, the flyer on advanced disposal of taking flags, national ensigns for retirement. This is a program they started in their home territory back east in Florida, and they've rolled it into their different business units, and this has come to us. They are testing it, so they'll be taking these flags for retirement from June 1st to September 11th. And like the flyer says, you take them down to the advanced disposal office, which is down Locust Street, beyond the Armory, behind the transfer station.
Do they
That's a
have
nice-
actual posters available that we could pick up and post in our work sites?
Well, they've got this flyer, and I can share this with you, and we put this on our website and posted it around, so I can share this with you.
That's a nice service. Sometimes I don't know what to do with old flags, so it's nice. I know what you're supposed to do. Okay, any other miscellaneous?
I have a question
Okay.
about, I didn't hear anybody talking about the Municipal Facilities Authority of the City of Boonville.
That is, Jim, do you want to, it's under Dr. Dan's umbrella.
I'm under their umbrella. What can I do for you?
Well, I just didn't know, this loan thing, revolving loan from the stash box, is
Yes.
so that's something that you
Well,
offered?
so several years ago, or 2 years ago, well, in all honesty, I don't know when the program started. It was revitalized 2.5 years ago. The Municipal Facilities Authority operates on behalf of the City of Boonville a revolving loan fund program, which gives people access to capital, and they pay a rate higher than would be for a bank loan, but less than it would be for a credit card. There's a list of approved uses for those funds. So we've made 2 revolving loan fund loans. One was to the Stash Box, the other was to Boonville Clay Company. Both are current, or at least they were as of our last meeting. So but it's a program that was funded with city dollars and managed by the MFA. The underwriting is done by Donna DeLong Hamilton at the Community Development Corporation in Columbia. And she's run so she does the loan underwriting on behalf of the MFA, and she's run a revolving loan fund for more than 20 years. So
if they default on their loan, it's just,
well, the Municipal Facilities Authority does have collateral that's been assigned to it. But yes, I mean, a default could happen, but
Right.
we try to mitigate.
right. Okay.
And I have applications if you have constituents
Oh,
that.
okay. Been there, done that.
The amounts are not real large.
No,
They're fairly small.
Yeah, they're on the order of a few $1,000s. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? I would entertain a motion to go into closed session, RSMO 610.021, for real estate discussion.
So moved.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Dorman,
Yes.
Stock,
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Beach,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes.
Okay, we'll take a 5-minute break and clear the room and meet in closed session.
You need to decide, not me.